We have concluded our historic evacuation operation and ended the last mission of the U.S. war in Afghanistan.
In Afghanistan, our mission, our military mission, has now come to an end. And we're going to learn from this experience as a military. Weeks ago, the United States military received the mission to conduct a non-combatant evacuation operation from Afghanistan in support of the Department of State. In order to evacuate American citizens, the Department of State designated Afghans with a directed completion date of 31 August. The key military tasks were to secure and defend the international airport in Kabul, evacuate all embassy personnel, evacuate all American citizens that wanted to get out, and evacuate other Afghans as designated by the Department of State, and retrograde all of the U.S. military. In short, the United States military was tasked to conduct two highly complex missions simultaneously: a retrograde while in contact with the enemy, and a neo in a non-permissive environment. We executed that mission in a highly dynamic, dangerous operating environment from a war-torn country, and it was conducted across 9 countries and 26 intermediate staging bases and temporary safe havens. We deployed between 5,000 and 6,000 military personnel on the ground, some of whom were forward deployed based on our contingency planning. These elements came from the 82nd Airborne Division, Special Forces, the Marine Corps, along with Navy and Air Force personnel. Flying in support were combat aircraft from the Air Force and the Navy, as well as incredible support from the transport aircraft, the pilots and crews of the United States Transportation Command. And afloat, we had an ARG-MU and a carrier strike group. We flew 387 U.S. military C-17 and C-130 sorties, and we enabled 391 non-U.S. military sorties. A total of 778 sorties evacuated a total of 124,334 people, which included almost 6,000 American citizens, third country nationals, and Afghans designated by the Department of State. And we will continue to evacuate American citizens under the leadership of the Department of State. This mission cost 11 Marines, 1 soldier, and 1 Navy corpsman their lives, and 22 others were wounded in action. In addition to over 100 Afghans killed and wounded in a horrific terrorist attack on 26 August at Abbey Gate on the southeast perimeter of the airport. Those soldiers, sailors, and Marines gave their lives so that others may live free. They literally gave their tomorrows for the tomorrows of people they never knew. Those 124,000, they never knew the 13 who died, and they will never know the 22 who were wounded, nor the thousands of dead and thousands of wounded who came before them. But they will now live in freedom because of American blood shed on their behalf, have fought tirelessly to defeat terrorists in Afghanistan and around the world, both at home and abroad. Their talent, their efforts have carried this fight day and night. In Afghanistan, our mission, our military mission, has now come to an end. And we're going to learn from this experience as a military. How we got to this moment in Afghanistan will be analyzed and studied for years to come. And we in the military will approach this with humility, transparency, and candor. There are many tactical, operational, and strategic lessons to be learned. 800,000 of us in uniform served in Afghanistan over the last 20 years.
We have concluded our historic evacuation operation and ended the last mission of the U.S. war in Afghanistan. My thoughts have been with the brave Americans who stood up to serve after al-Qaeda attacked us on September 11, 2001. We remember 2,461 American service members and personnel who paid the ultimate price in this war, and more than 20,000 wounded Americans, some still carrying the scars that you can't see on the outside. We also remember the thousands of American contractors who lost their lives, and hundreds of our allies and partners from NATO and beyond, and tens of thousands of Afghan soldiers and police officers, and tens of thousands more Afghan civilians. Now, we have just concluded the largest air evacuation of civilians in American history. It was heroic. It was historic. And I hope that all Americans will unite to thank our service members for their courage and their compassion. They were operating in an immensely dangerous and dynamic environment. But our troops were tireless, fearless, and selfless. Our commanders never flinched, and our allies and partners were extraordinary. The United States evacuated some 6,000 American citizens and a total of more than 124,000 civilians. And we did it all in the midst of a pandemic and in the face of grave and growing threats. I am incredibly proud of those who made it happen, and they made it happen with grit and skill and humanity. Our forces risked their own lives to save the lives of others. And 13 of our very best paid the ultimate price.